All right. So when I look at people who put in half the effort, whether I'm in school or I'm in my day to day life or I'm just, outside of school, even, I know that they're not mentally capable of anything outside of ordinary. I know they aren't. Okay. And the reason why is because they not only do they not have the right mindset. You want to know what their mindset is? Their mindset is, oh, this situation is hard. I don't like working towards my goals because it's a difficult situation. I don't like to think that way. I don't like to be a victim of my surroundings. They are a victim of their surroundings. They pretend they act like they're a victim of their surroundings. So they end up manifesting being a victim of their surroundings. I don't like to think that way because of that. And I don't see the point in thinking that way. It's just a lazy, weak way of thinking. Why would I think that way? So you can't be thinking that way. Okay. If you have that mindset right now, you have to change it immediately if you want to achieve your goals. Otherwise you won't. I'm sorry. So now that we got that out of the way, here's the main issue. Okay. When a person who doesn't fully try, they're average, they only put in part of their effort, or maybe they're slightly above average. It was some things. Okay. When I look at those people, the way that they mentally think of things is not only that the situation's hard, but it's not to their advantage. And so as a result, the situation ends up being against them. Okay. They end up manifesting that and it starts creating problems for them that they don't need. And not only that, but they aren't thinking of the life ahead of them. Okay. They aren't thinking of the goals. What if it does work out? What if I do end up achieving my goals? If you aren't thinking that way, you have a major issue. Okay. You have to start thinking, man, what if this does work out? Okay. You shouldn't even do what if. You should just know mentally that you are going to end up achieving your goals because that's the end goal. Okay. If you're thinking, oh, I'm not going to achieve my goals, well, then you won't. If you want to achieve your goals, that's the main goal in your life is to achieve all of your goals. Okay. So if you start thinking that you will end up achieving all of your goals, then it will end up happening as long as you put in the effort and the steps. So here's where it starts. Okay. You have to mentally understand and believe in yourself that you are going to end up achieving your goals. And you have to, then you'll mentally know how much effort you have to put in. You want to know why? Because you'll see these situations that you're in and you'll be like, man, what if I achieve my goals in 1 year from now? I knew that in 365 days, no matter what, I would end up achieving my goals. Well, then you'd be like, man, I have to start putting in more effort, whether I like it or not, because you want to know why? Because putting in the effort is the part that actually makes it more enjoyable. Because if I achieved every single one of my goals without putting in my full 100% effort, I would never be happy. I would never be satisfied. For the rest of my life, I would never feel satisfied. And people think that's stupid. Most people mentally think, oh, if it's easy, it's better. That is not true. Okay, if I were to achieve my goals tomorrow, every single one of my goals, I would be so irritated because I would know that I had not put in my 100% effort. I hadn't been in a difficult situation or a difficult enough situation. And while I have been in very difficult situations, I still think I need to put in more effort, right? Because I like putting in the effort. And that's what most people don't understand. So if you like the fight, you like the journey, you like the process of it, then achieving your goals will become easy. That will be the easy part of it, actually. And so this is what you have to understand. Once you understand this, then everything else becomes easy because the work part is easy. Once the work part is easy, then you like the work part, then everything else becomes even easier than that. Okay. So I think this is the way you have to think. Okay. You have to think that you will end up achieving your goals. You will end up becoming successful as long as you put in the effort and the steps. And I will only feel satisfied if I put in my full 100% effort. So it doesn't matter whether or not I achieve my goal because I will only feel satisfied until I put in my 100% effort. And my belief, I know that if you put in your 100% effort, you will end up achieving your goals. So if I'll never be satisfied until I put in my 100% effort, then that is the only option. Okay. So you have to understand and think about it this way. Okay. So as long as you think about it this way and you manifest what you're thinking about, because it will manifest into your life, you just have to put in the effort and everything, then it will end up working out. So, and then the other thing is, the average people who put in, they don't actually try. They maybe they put in half the effort. Maybe, they don't really try. You can't be hanging around those people. Okay. Because those people will bring you down. They'll bring you into a lower vibration because they are average. Okay. If you have these average people who are they no longer connect with you as well because you're starting to work towards your goals, then fine. If they're not okay, you can try and invite them to the gym or invite them to work hard with you. But if they disagree, then I'm sorry, you cannot be hanging around that person anymore because they are not going to help you. They are just going to waste your time and ask you to watch Hulu with them and be lazy just like them and go through the motions and not doing anything. I don't like to live that way. I know you don't probably like to live that way either. So don't listen to them. If they try to do that stuff, just you have to cut them off. Okay. If you have asked them, you've tried to invite them to go do stuff with you, to work hard, to work towards something great, then if they say no to that and they keep on saying no, then it's time to drop them. So that's all I wanted to talk about today, guys. I thank you guys so much for the support. Other than that, that's about it. Thanks for watching.